Hello, viewers. As you know, today is the day after Halloween. Today is November 1st. Well, I'm going to be talking about fantasy today. Now, I still had a lot of candy left over because it was rainy, very much so. We only had 30 kids show up. It wasn't really good weather, and it was the middle of the week anyway. And our house is, well, the front yard is pretty big, and so is the driveway. So most people decided, no, I'll just stay away. That's okay. I always have friends, right? to share it with. It's a good thing too. I was planning to be an EOD or a Juggernaut suit, but I couldn't find the costume, sadly. Oh well, next year. I lit off a lot of fireworks. We were lighting everything off, really. So, you should leave in the comments below. How was your Halloween? So, anyway, fantasy is one of the things that don't necessarily fade from people's minds. They have a very prominent history with people, of course. Fantasy is, well, in everyday life. It's always among us. There, of course, fantasy isn't necessarily a bad thing. Having a good imagination is a good thing, not a bad thing. But when people start mixing up fantasy with the truth and getting them confused, then that's when you really have a problem. In my opinion, I think one of the greatest movies, if they were ever to make one, I don't think they will though, would be Terminators versus AVP. I think that'd be a good movie. If it was directed by Steven Spielberg, or good director, of course. They added some of the Avengers in there too, that'd be kind of cool. I don't know how that movie would necessarily play out though. They haven't made a sequel to Salvation yet. Uh, they probably will make the movie, but I don't know. Oh yeah, and Lucasfilms was sold to Disney for 4.05 billion. So Disney bought it off them. And they're making Star Wars Episode 7. And that's going to be released in 2015. So they've got a lot of time to get the movie right. And it's, what, 10 more days until Black Ops 2 comes out. The thing is what aliens versus predators, I could actually see that happening. I could see them coming to our planet and wreaking havoc, waging wars. And the army nukes one city and they're like, okay, we're safe. But then the thing is, the aliens were smart enough to have their eggs everywhere. And then, of course, they're not all destroyed because they put them in nice, insulated, dark, moderate temperature rooms where it's not too hot or too cold. And let's say water or Hurricane Sandy washes them all the way down to New York, New Jersey, blah blah blah. Then the little scorpions, whatever they're called, crawl out and then attach themselves to every person they can find face. Before the government realizes that they have a whole horde of aliens coming for them. And then even more quarantining needs to happen. And they close off all the roads, blah blah blah. They quarantine it. But the aliens decide to sacrifice each other, use their acid to, melt through all the barricades, and then it's basically an all-out war. And the predators realize this, and they decide to come to our planet. But at the same time, Skynet is being tested. And let's say it detects the threat. So what Skynet does before it turns rogue on us, decides to go kill all the aliens. So, and this includes the predators, because the predators do kill humans, even though that's not their main intention. So they march in, mow down most of the aliens, and since of course they're robots, they can't feel pain, so they keep on going. Till they just stop working, really. Then the predators, they start killing the human race. Skynet defends the human race, kills some of the predators, and then they go off this planet. Then they wrap up with the remaining aliens. And then, as soon as the whole program is going to be put in, not necessarily shut down, but kept in reserve, or stasis, when you're cryogenically frozen, basically, the Skynet computers are, of course, very smart. They have surveillance everywhere. And they realize, trying to shut me down. And that's when it goes rogue. I still think that'd be a good movie. Avengers vs. Skynet. That'd make a good game, too. The AVP game looks really good, though. I want to get it. But I heard the Marine campaign is really scary. What I don't really understand is that how did all of this come to be? The Predator can actually talk if you watch Predator 2, and they've been there for centuries and eons on Earth, and they're all over the place, all over the world, underground, hiding in their ships. And I think they're really just there to be reconnaissance, to be recon. But in Predator 2, when he kills that predator and the other predators appear out of nowhere, they don't kill him. I'm assuming because he was a rogue, because he was the only predator that went around killing other humans. So the reason why aliens were really created was they were just bred for entertainment and the mark of the warrior. If you've seen Predator versus Alien, the first one, it tells the story of them taking the humans. They were gods. They returned every 100 years. In an advanced civilization, they taught them how to build. People worshipped them as gods. And then they took people. They let the thing attached to his face, and then well, the alien was created. But then it doesn't explain how it overwhelmed and overran everything. Probably because those little tubes weren't the greatest, well, I mean, they were predators, so I'm assuming they had some sort of force field even then. But then there's the three lone predators just fighting till the end, like they always do. And they're getting eaten by the aliens, and then one sets off the mini nuke, then the whole civilization is destroyed. And somehow, even though it's Aztec Maya civilization, kind of, I don't get how it ends up in the Antarctic. In Antarctica. I don't get it. The Arctic. I don't really get that part. But it happened. The thing is that I know they made Halo movies, but they haven't actually made a Halo movie. Not animated, of course. I think that'd be a good movie. Versus the Covenant. Almost said government. For the survival of the human race. I don't know how good Halo 4 is gonna be. It's obviously set in the future. Other Halos were like the year 2030, 2365, something like that. Reach was, I don't get it. They had all the advanced technology in Reach, and that was set before all the other Halos. And you just can't hold it, and you get overwhelmed. So there's just the last level. It's survival. You just get swarmed by alien masses. Lone wolf. And you just try to survive. Well, the government is obviously experimenting with super soldiers. Obviously. Something to make them better, faster, stronger, smarter. Different types of armor that is extremely lightweight and can protect you from pretty much anything that explodes. They're developing it as we speak. And the quadrotor drone, or the dragonfly, um, the army probably doesn't have this yet, but they're probably just experimenting on it. They probably have a prototype somewhere. The Pentagon. Or Area 51. Thank you for watching, viewers.